these two horses was about 3 weeks ago, so it'll be interesting to see what kind of progress they've made just in the basic, simple, fundamental maneuvers that I was working on last time. So I'll just start him with moving him around, sending him by me. And I'm doing it this time. I don't know if I did it last time, but this time I'm doing it with my snaffle bit. So it's a little different feel, but I've been working on him with that. So, so he should feel of me pretty good. And yeah, he's coming through there pretty good. He's a little bit worried there. So I'll just bring him back to a walk because that's all I want him to do. So we'll just keep working on this until he relaxes a little bit and lets down. Because see, I didn't ask him to go. He's trying. He's just trying. He thinks that's what he needs to do. So I'll just kind of keep bending him, getting those hindquarters to roll away from me like that. That helps him to set up the stop and change directions with his front end like that. And I want him out and around in a nice round circle just like that. That's a good circle. He's a little more relaxed right there. So I'll ask him to roll those other hindquarters away from me and get stopped. Send him across. And I just might do that until he feels back to me a little bit more. He's feeling back to me. In other words, he's responding good, but he can do it even better. I'll let you make a little adjustment on this head stall, and we'll see how he goes. Okay, here we go. That's good. So when I ask with my hand out like that, my left hand, he should try to step it up a little bit. So if he doesn't, I'll just drive him. That's just how I reinforce what I'm asking by driving. I ask him, and then I drive. And I'll ask him to sit back on this a little bit till his head comes down there. That was good. See, didn't have to drive him forward, and that's all I'm looking for. I'm just looking for the softness on this rein and in his hindquarters at the same time. And when I get kind of a change in both, then that's when I quit. So he needs to be soft in his mouth and in his hindquarters. I'll go this way. Soft, 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 good. Change directions, good. There. So all I do when I do this groundwork and I send him by and I do the hindquarters in the front and sending him by, I'm just really trying to get him with me. And as soon as I feel a change where he gets with me, then I'll go on to something else. So he's pretty good there. Ask one more time. There. Good. Now he was pretty heavy on this snaffle bit, and he's still heavier than I'd like, but he's getting better. He's getting better. There. Yeah, so that's all I look for. I look for some changes for the better. On this little horse, I used to keep it pretty short. I do a lot of things. I make a lot of tracks with this horse. A lot of lateral tracks, bending him and going right and left and stopping and starting an arc in the circle in the back up and to turn around and all those things, but just little bits. And then I don't ask too much of him, and when he tries a little bit, I let him, there's a lot of, relaxing, resting from the release, because he could get cranky, and I sure don't want him to do that because he's a friendly little guy. So I'll get on and do the same thing. I'm just going to keep doing that lateral work for him to be softer, like that. And there's going to be things where he's going to be kind of soft at, and as we speed him up, he gets a little harder. But then that just gives me an opportunity to work on that, to get him softer when things are going a little faster. Good. So I'm just going to build on that. He's soft bending, so I'll just connect that to his hind feet and have him step over with his hind feet. There. Good. Ask him to go to the right. Good. And I ask him to get soft right here. Yeah. Good. And then I start out on my circle. It's the same circle that I was doing on the ground. And I'm looking for the same thing. I'm looking for him to get round and just move kind of rhythmically and calm and just kind of just go around. And when he does, I just leave him alone. That's the idea, just leave him alone. And I'll just fix it when I think he's off on his circle, because I want a concentric circle, if I can, as round a circle as I can get. So whenever I see him kind of drifting off the circle, I just fix and help him get back on the circle, then I release and leave him alone. And then I just basically wait for him to make a mistake, and then I fix it. So I'll wait till he's good and round, and he's on his circle, and then I'll roll him over and get him stopped. Same way, I'll bend him, ask those hindquarters to step away, and when they do, I just kind of release and give him a minute. We'll start the other way. We'll go to the right. And I'm looking for the same thing on the right as I was on the left. A round, concentric circle. See, it's not round there. It's good to see what's it. He'll put he's not as good on this side. So I'll help him there. There's good. And I'll just kind of help him stay there. I shouldn't say help him stay there. I should say I'll help him get there, then I'll release, and then I'll wait for him to make a mistake. And on this side, he straightens out. See, he doesn't want to stay as round, especially when he gets to seeing his friend over there. He wants to drift that way. Right about here, he'll get flat. He's flat, so I'll just help him get back on that circle. And this kind of thing you could do for quite a bit of time on your horse. Roll them. Good. You can do this a lot, and it doesn't take anything out of them. It's not much work. They kind of like it once they get onto it, and it'll sure help you with the other stuff that you're going to do with your horse. So now I'm just trying to get him to step back and step over with this front end. So you see what it took. I just kept fixing it. He wasn't right, so I held, and then when he come off that pressure in a manner that was sort of what I was wanting, then I would release. So I'm asking for his front left foot to step out. Okay? And so I just keep working at it. That was good. So what happens on a horse, on a deal like this, if I find he's having a lot of trouble, he did, going to the left with his front end, back in a slight arc, I'll get him back in a straight line first. I want to make sure that, and if that isn't good, then there's no sense in me even trying to, there, that was a little softer. So he just gets dull and heavy. And then I have to kind of ask for more until I can get some kind of a try with the feet, and then I'll release. So it goes over. I just keep repeating the process, and I try not to stay in too long. I want to quit while he's soft. See, right there is when I want to quit. So I might have to ask those feet to break loose. Sometimes I'll just bump him up there on the elbows there and say, come on, get your feet busted loose off the ground. There. Good. So now we'll just do that front and hind end. So I just keep adding to it. So I'll get his feet broke loose here, get him moving a little bit. He tends to get dull and heavy, and then it makes it more difficult to do these maneuvers. So I got to get a little life in the body and in the feet, and it makes these other maneuvers much easier. There's the hind. I pause a second. There's the front. I release. Go the other way. I got to get a little life. So I don't want to do it there because he's not good on the circle. So I don't want to ask him if he's not right. So I'm going to wait till he's good, and then I'll stop him, release, start again. Yeah, he's not rounding out in this circle, and if he's resisting in the rib cage and in his shoulders and his hip there, well, I'm not going to get what I want, so I got to get him rounded out first. There. I'll just hold because he sees somebody over there, fencer, fixing our fence. So I just keep fixing. See, now he's good. So I don't have to fix. It's a good time to ask, see, because he was soft. So that's the big thing that I found out with this particular horse, but any horse. You don't want to ask for those maneuvers if they're not right doing what you're doing. So if I'm asking for a nice, round, soft, forward circle, concentric, and he's not on it, there's no sense in even me asking for those hind quarters because he's already not shaped up for it. I got to get him shaped up physically first and then mentally. There, now he's shaped up, and see, it happens pretty easy. So the thing about all this stuff is you can't do a maneuver maybe that you want if the thing that you're actually doing is being met with resistance. So, and you got to feel that. I mean, you just got to know when he's resisting, because he's just walking along, but I can feel the stiffness. I can feel the stiffness in this right side. See, there's stiffness. So I'll kind of try to get him back on it. See, there. Now he's not stiff. See, he's real nice. So this would be the place to do it, but I'll go through here. It'll get from good to bad. Now it's stiff, so I'll try to help him. There. There. And what I'm trying to do is move him over, get his head back on the circle, and then I leave him alone. There, it's good. And look how soft he gets when it's good. It takes nothing to do it. There's the front. But when he's not shaped up, physically and mentally, it doesn't work at all. Now, there's a cat there. This is good because he's looking at that cat. This doesn't make him wrong. He's just looking at it. That's what he does. He checks things out. But I'm saying, hey, don't worry about that cat. That cat's not going to hurt you. There. So it's lots of lateral bending. I got to bend this horse laterally so that when he goes straight, he's kind of in the middle of that rectangle. I got an imaginary rectangle around me. And this rectangle, I want him always in the middle of that rectangle. And I'm constantly working to put a horse in the middle of the rectangle until pretty soon, that's where they want to be. They just want to be in the center, because what happens when I put one in the center of that rectangle, I leave them alone. And if I repeat that enough and I'm consistent with that, they'll want to be there because I leave them alone. So when they get off to one side of the rectangle, or they get out in the front or in the back, and I get busy, they don't like that because I'm making it difficult for him to be there, so I have to put him to work. So it's a matter of just repeating, setting it up, fixing it up, putting it where I think that center of that rectangle is for this horse, and leave him alone. And it may only last a few seconds, a few steps, one step, and I might have to fix again. So it looks like I'm really busy, but I keep setting it up to put him. That's that cat, got him. That's okay, that's good. And you saw how I took a hold of one rein and got that lateral flexion to get him kind of stopped. Otherwise, if I'd have tried to pull on two reins, he'd have been dull as could be. He might have stopped on his own, but at least I got him bent. There. And kind of stopped. So that was good. That was good to see. He just got worried. He got scared of that cat when that cat moved fast. And the thing about it, exposing them to stuff like that, if you can expose it to them just on this side of them getting panicked, which is hard to do because it's, that kind of happens in life there. It just happens. If something goes by, you can't control it. You got to do the best you can. But in a controlled environment, you can put things in front of them and help them get exposed to things in a manner where you can support them. But see, that just came out of nowhere, so that was just a reaction. I had to just react because he reacted. So that's the thing. It just changes as we go, and he's going to tell me what he needs. So, but if I can get this horse bent laterally, on a more consistent manner, well, I'll have more control. I'll have more control of him because I can help him operate in a much more efficient manner. Because he has no problem going straight forward. In fact, usually when I'm going and I ask for a little trot, he trots out real nice, but he just sort of ignores me. And I'm basically just a passenger. He's saying, don't worry about it. Just sit there. I'll take it from here. And I want to say, no, let's do this together. And he's going, well, this is the way I've always done it. So it's just breaking those old patterns